Now look at this vocabulary. Bridge. What is bridge? It's a structure built over something as water, a low place, or a railroad so people can cross. For example, we drove across a bridge. A tunnel. What is a tunnel? It's an underground passageway dug through the surrounding soil, earth, rock. For example, the train went into the tunnel. Wriggle. Verb used without an object. To move along by twisting and turning the body as a worm or a snake. For example, the worm wriggled back into the ground. Admire. Verb used with object. To regard with wonder or approval. For example, many people admire that soccer player for his talent. Skeptical. Adjective. Inclined to skepticism, having an attitude of doubt. A skeptical young woman who will question whatever you say. For example, the scientists were skeptical about the new invention. They doubted it would work. Strand. Any one of the threads, fibers, wires, etc. For example, you can knit strands of yarn together to make a sweater. Gratefully, with appreciation for something done or received. For example, your financial support is gratefully acknowledged. Suspicious. Adjective. Believing that someone has probably done something wrong. For example, when I saw the two people wearing masks go inside the bank, I felt suspicious. Base. Noun. It is the lowest part of it, where it is attached to something else. For example, she sat down at the base of a tree. Unseen, not seen or perceived. For example, we heard the siren from an unseen fire engine. Depart, verb, is to go away or leave. For example, our plane departs at 9 and arrives at 11:30. Fade, verb used without an object. To lose, brightness or vividness of color. For example, his anger faded away. Exquisite, adjective of a special beauty or charm. For example, the food here is exquisite. It's always perfectly cooked. Herds, noun, a number of animals kept for feeding or traveling together. For example, I heard the herd of cattle being herded home from a long way away. Hazardous, full of risk or risky. It was a hazardous journey. Labor, verb, to do physical or mental work of a hard kind. For example, we labored for days to put up a fence in the backyard. Isolated, a place that is remote and far away from other people. For example, it was an isolated farm. Sapphires, a precious stone, usually bright blue, that is often used in jewelry. For example, the crown was made of sapphires and other precious jewels. Discouraged. If you work and work on a project and never seem to make any progress, you may feel discouraged. For example, It's easy to feel discouraged if you fail a test, but don't give up. Insist. If you insist that something should be done, you say so very firmly and refuse to give in. For example, I wanted to go outside, but my mom insisted I do my homework first. Words. Listen and say the words, then listen and read the sentences. Isolated, hazardous, regal, skeptical, insist, admire, label, strand, discouraged, sapphire, suspicious, exquisite, depart. His house is very isolated. He lives 30 kilometers from the nearest town. Number 2. Activities like bungee jumping can be hazardous. Sometimes people get hurt. Number 3. The worm wriggled back into the ground. Number 4. The scientists were skeptical about the new invention. They doubted it would work. Number 5. I wanted to go outside, but my mom insisted I do my homework first. Number 6. Many people admire that soccer player for his talent. Number 7. We labored for days to put up a fence in the backyard. Number 8. You can knit strands of yarn together to make a sweater. Number 9. It's easy to feel discouraged if you fail a test, but don't give up. Number 10. The crown was made of sapphires and other precious jewels. Number 11. When I saw the 2 people wearing masks go inside the bank, I felt suspicious. Number 12. The food here is exquisite. It's always perfectly cooked. Number 13. Our plane will depart at 9 and arrive at 11:30. These are all the vocabularies that we studied. Have a look. Isolated, hazardous, regal, skeptical, insist, admire, label, strand, discouraged, sapphire, suspicious, exquisite, depart.